was a little low. He
Yep.
did increase.
Law is shifting, and the old map doesn't work anymore. This is Legal Pirates, a podcast for founders, operators, and personal injury leaders who don't wait for permission to lead change. We are category designers and collaboration friendly. Each episode explores the moves reshaping how law is built, delivered, and trusted. One question guides every conversation. What map are you using now that the old one no longer works? Let's navigate the shift.
Conference and Social Security cases. I've been an attorney there for going on 8 years now. Worked there for about 5 prior to that in their marketing department. So kind of a hybrid of the marketing attorney here. So it's a good
Gotcha.
conference to be at.
Oh,
PILMMA,
cool.
yeah.
I find that a lot, that there's attorneys that then turn marketers. Is that common?
So with small firms, I mean, when you're in a small firm, you kind of have to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Our firm, we have 6 attorneys there. So not everybody gets involved in it, but we rope everybody into it at some point. Everybody gets onto a video or a podcast or into the pictures for the billboards, that kind of thing.
Awesome. So is that your role there, or is it more lawyering?
I do mostly litigation, so claimant litigation.
Gotcha.
I do still oversee some of the marketing aspects, but yeah, I do end up on a lot of our videos and commercials and things.
Awesome.
Certainly.
So how are you using AI so far?
Well, I think I personally was one of the early adopters of AI. I was using ChatGPT, years ago when it first became available to the public, but that was more for just personal projects, things. As a firm, I mean, we started using Microsoft Azure. Is it Azure or Azure?
I always say Azure.
Azure.
Yeah,
Okay,
but I don't know.
I read it all the time, and I should ask Microsoft how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
So we started using that. We have a few other packages that we use. A big thing that we've seen here, a lot of the vendors, they do the medical chronologies, timelines, draft demands, and other letters for you and things. We do use ChatGPT. We have a profile on there, but we're very strict about the data privacy on there because, as you know, anything you put into ChatGPT kind of just gets eaten up by ChatGPT. So we are careful with that. Yeah.
And then how are you careful with that? How do you do that?
So we take out all the client names. We just use Mr. X or Mrs. X. We just say date of birth instead of putting in any names. Obviously, anything that would have any private data on it, social security numbers, anything like that is an absolute no-no. So we do use it for sometimes drafting letters, responses, things like that. You can put it in there, but there's no client information contained in it at all.
Oh, so it's before you work with ChatGPT, that's the key. You prep it for it.
Yes.
Not any settings in ChatGPT that could help you.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned Microsoft. Is that the most secure for having an in-house AI?
So no, I mean Microsoft Copilot, I think, is the one that comes on the Microsoft 365 suite. That is secure. I know that a lot of the government agencies that we work with, they are specifically using Microsoft Teams for hearings because it's secure. Their AI is secure. It doesn't share it publicly, any of the information that you put into it. But then we do have a couple of different suites similar to some of the ones that are here, where it's based on their own server. They train it with their own documents. So anything that you put on there, they have non-disclosure agreements on there, so they ensure that there's going to be no data leaks.
It's so interesting because to me, that seems like probably I've heard it before, but probably one of the biggest concerns for adopting AI in a law firm. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. And even so, we still don't put documents that would have private information on them into really any of those systems, just into our CRM. So we're very careful about anything being redacted before it's put in there. Certainly.
So you are probably the most ahead of the game.
Yeah.
It runs the gamut. People put stuff in the chat, they don't care, to
yes,
we're not going to do anything like you.
And I think that's a very dangerous game to play because who knows when those things are going to show up on somebody else's ChatGPT response, and then is that going to get traced back to you? Yeah,
oh my God, imagine.
Yeah, I've been very very paranoid about data privacy my entire life. So yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, what's your background?
Well, like I said, I was kind of the IT marketing person there for a while. My dad ran an IT company for years, so I just kind of grew up with the technology. So I have a really deep understanding of its limitations and the scary things that can happen with it. Certainly.
So then, what made you go to law school and become a lawyer?
It's a really good question. A few of my siblings ended up going to medical school, and I don't like blood, so here I am.
So it's either lawyer or doctor.
Yep, the family lawyer, yeah.
The one was crossed out.
Yeah, right. I figured we would need an attorney in the family, so certainly.
Okay, cool. So any other things that you want to like maybe share with the audience, like insights or takeaways about AI, how to get it started with your firm if they're just getting started?
Yeah, so I think first off, you need to have a conversation. You need to figure out your data privacy before you do anything, right? Because if you just tell people, hey, start using AI, like you said, people are going to start putting documents places that they shouldn't be. Personal client information can end up in places that it shouldn't be. Like I said, we don't put anything onto ChatGPT or any of those other public servers. So you need to have a conversation. You need to set a policy for it. And then you need to start there. So if you are going to start,
smart.
and if you're going to start adopting tools, have a conversation with the providers of those tools to find out what their data privacy is, get the NDAs and get them signed and start there. So like I said, you got to start it with data privacy in mind.
That is so smart. So what are you looking to get out of the conference, and what's next for you? Like, how are you wanting to use AI?
So it seems that a lot of the providers have very similar capabilities. What I'm looking for is kind of a few of the next steps. So document drafting, everybody can do document drafting now.
Yeah.
I would love to see, and I haven't seen this yet, so if anybody here hears this, I would love to see this.
Okay.
Citations from the exhibits, right? Because after it drafts it, I have to go back and find all the exhibits and put those in manually. I would love to see that. I would love to see capability for larger files. That's a big issue. Some of the cases that we get, I mean, you could have 10, 20,000 pages in a file. A lot of them are not able to, chat with a document that size. So I know that there's limitations on what they can do, but I would love to see something like that.
So your biggest challenges so far is the file size. And then what was the first one? I'm so sorry.
The file size, citations.
Cool.
And
so you don't have to go looking. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I know that there are a few companies here who are training their models on case law. So being able to go in there and get actual case law without it hallucinating the cases would be great. Obviously, you need to check your citations no matter what, but having something like that where it can pull, which if you ever check out like Lexis or Westlaw, like the legal databases, look at their AI, they can pull from those cases. Having that built into some of the functionality of the other suites would be great.
Yeah. So this has been super refreshing, and talking to somebody that's not only a lawyer but also very tech forward and into IT.
Yeah.
So Steve, where can people find you?
So we're online at o'connorlaw.com. It's number 1-800-5184-LAW. We have all the socials, everything from Reddit, YouTube, Instagram, everything at O'Connor Law. So
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Thanks,
doubt.
Nick.
Gary. That was awesome, man.
Thanks for listening to Legal Pirates. Remember, the old rules aren't coming back. Follow the show and keep charting your own course. We'll see you next time.